Hello, this is Tim Lanes, Cynosure Dental Lab. I'm doing a retake of my technique for making vacuform custom trays because the first time I did it, I was pushing pause instead of record. The case has been mounted, so because we've already vacuformed the tray down, and sent it off to the doctor. I'm not going to knock this off. I'm just going to leave it there for demonstration purposes. All right, first thing you want to do is block it out. To do that, we take 2 sheets of the tray material and a glob of our secret putty. Our secret putty is actually a blend of silly putty. And with silly putty you get about that much in an egg. And we add it and blend it with a strip of handy tack. Now depending on what secret silly putty you buy, if you buy yellow and yellow make yellow. But if you buy the blue handy tack, the blue silly putty, all the handy tacks are, well, they have a white handy tack, but the yellow handy tack seems to be different and better for some reason. But if you buy the blue and mix it with the handy tack, it stays blue. So we mix the two, we get our secret putty. We put the putty between the 2 pieces. We grab a rolling pin. This is an old hammer that I made in machine shop in high school. Years ago. And you roll it out to where it is 0.15 inches thick, because that's how thick these are. If you want it a thinner spacer, you can use one of the pink sheets that start at 0.10. Then there's 0.080 and on down to 0.20, which is way too thin. But at some point you get it nice and thin, or the thickness you want. Then you take a knife, figure out how long your model is by sheer genius. This is a lower, so we're going to section it like that and that. Pull it up. Set the... Alright, you see how it likes to be sticky? Well, to solve that with your fingers, we use some of our separating medium that we use for wax ups, which is 1 jigger of hand soap to about a quart of water. So we wet our fingers, and we can press all we want and it won't stick to our fingers. And the excess you just kind of pinch off. Or cut off. And this putty works real well if you're making custom trays for like partials, because it is flexible enough to where you can pull the model out without breaking the teeth, and flexible and soft enough. Some people like tissue stops. I never have, because way too often I've seen impressions with tissue stops and you have this big divot impression, whatever, in the model, because they just kept pushing and pushing and pushing till the tissue stop wasn't a tissue stop, it was a tissue compressor. But some people like them, so for those that do, this is how to make them. Cut out your little square out of your material. Oh. Now vacuum formers won't suck down into that square very well. So we take an old sheet and cut out little squares and stick it down in those recesses with enough sticking above the material for the new material to grab it. And we also make our handle out of this material. Cut a piece about 20 to 30 millimeters long and stick it in the front. And now this is ready to take a, like I said, if we were actually making this again, we would knock it off and take it over to the vacuum form machine, but I've already made it, so we're not. But that's it.